It's northerner here, down in London, in Paddington. The sunshine, it's like I'm on holiday. You don't understand. Mine's gonna look like black as soot in a minute because the sun's burning me out, but it's good little setup, good little setup.
Yeah. I'd like to introduce, he made his own introduction, but I'll do it anyway.
Blip, 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 blip.
Pro Beez joined by Sky Sports' Johnny Nelson. How you doing?
I'm alright. You know what, if I knew you was here, I'd have brought you some oxtail.
Yeah?
You don't understand.
Hey. It looks like you've been having plenty of that oxtail. Those biceps are bulging through the shirt.
No, you just wear tight stuff. That's all. Just wear tight stuff and bling.
Out here they say, "Go blimey, mate."
These summoners, it's like I need a translation book for these lot down here. So I like coming down here because you just feel a bit free. You know, you see everybody getting on with everything. I've been down to the gym downstairs in Darren Barker's gym. Nice little setup. I don't know if this would work up north, but everybody's like, they're forward thinking. The forward thinking sort of get on with things.
Yeah. I see you took some oxtail to Dillian Whyte ahead of his fight with Oscar Rivas. 20th of July, O2 Arena, Sky Sports. Mate, I think you're going to help that hook.
You know what, let me tell you about that fight. I think Dillian will regret taking the fight because he's in an no-win situation. Now Rivas is a handful, and Dillian knows he's in a handful. He's unbeaten, he's hungry, there's no respite. So Dillian's gonna have to work hard for the win. He'll get the win, he's gonna have to work hard for it. It might even be tight, he's gonna have to work hard for the win. So the big boys are conveniently developing amnesia or just got blinkers on, they can't see Dillian. So they're not talking about him or they'll avoid fighting him, which is fact now, we know that. This is why Dillian's managed to turn public opinion and public support around him, because people are now saying, you know what has this guy done now? He deserves a shot. Dillian's now taking fights against fighters where you think, why would you do that? Why don't you fight somebody else? But my trainer Brendan Ingle would never in a million years have let me take such risky fights that Dillian has to say I'm in so much touching distance of a world title. He wouldn't let me do it because Brendan's not an idiot. You know, Brendan would say, no, Johnny, you know what? You know, let's sometimes lose a battle to win a war, and so just sit tight. Have a takeover fight, but some of these fights are too dangerous. Then fight these men when you're champion. But Dillian, what I rate about Dillian is he said, nah, I don't care, I'll fight now.
I'm a born fighter.
These guys are potential world title challengers. So the guys that he's fighting, they could fight for world titles. The guys that he's taking out that are in the who needs him club, Dillian's fighting those guys. And so every fight is a risk fight. This is a risk fight for Dillian. Rivas is no push-up, he's no bum. He reminds me, his pace, his style of fight, his hunger in fight, he reminds me of a Joe Frazier. His pace of fight. He's got the stature of a cruiserweight, but he's got the punch of a heavyweight. He's got the pace of a heavyweight. He can take a shot like a heavyweight. So Rivas knows exactly what he has to do. He has to try and keep the pace on Dillian. He has to try and outbox him, outwork him. He knows he's used to winning. He's got a good amateur pedigree, so he knows for fact he's expecting to be underestimated, slide under the radar, and that's where the problem is. Because when you've got a fighter like Rivas, he's going to be hungrier than Dillian, even though Dillian's hungry because he's looking for bigger fish to fight.
He might want some oxtail as well.
Yeah, he needs some oxtail. But it'd be a good fight. It'd be a good fight, and I think I'd rate Dillian. I got to rate him for the shouts that he's doing, the gambles that he's taking, and gambles are great when they pay off. I do think he beats Rivas in a hard fight, or he struggles, or beats him easy, but has to work for the win. He'll think, wow, that's easy. I mean, these fights, you know, you want to wait and save your juice, save your good fights for when you become champion, because you'll be in some juicy fights, and you got to go to the well again. And Dillian's finding himself going to the well. He's improving rapidly. I seen him in Loughborough last week. He was banging on pads good, and I don't mean just like.
He's a very educated boxer.
It was snap.
Yeah. And that double jab is amazing.
Yeah, got long arms, unbelievable hook, and I can remember when he boxed Derek Chisora. I think he hit Derek. He staggered him, I think it was the first or second round. But the old Dillian would have just jumped on him, boom. But he sat back, boom. and let my man just come back into it again. But at choice, not like he did handle choice. I thought he's starting to learn now. It's the sweet science. Now Dillian's a natural fighter. He's not a natural boxer. He's now learning to box smart, box sweet, box correct, as well as having that rough diamond, that rough edge. And I'm quite sure that rough edge will always be there. I can imagine him crossing paths with the likes of Tyson Fury or even Deontay Wilder. These are the two guys that will not out-talk, out-walk, out-hustle, out-mouth Dillian. You know, I would like to see how these clash. And I rate AJ, rate him to the max, and I think, you know what, that was a blip. But I always worried if AJ had to cross paths with your Tyson Furies and your Deontay Wilders, they'd be able to out-talk him, out-insult him, you know, get under his skin verbally, because that's not AJ's style. But for Dillian, bring that to Dillian and say, yeah, well, come, yeah, bring that on. And so now the tables are turning a little bit. I'm thinking, how would you boys go on when you have to sit around the table with Dillian? You know, will it be the same? Will it still be as saucy, as aggressive, as vocal? It's interesting, to say the least. And you know what? The one thing that was going on when Dillian was trying to chase AJ for quite a while, I said, wouldn't it be ironic that if AJ lost the world title and Dillian won it, and then years later we find AJ challenging Dillian for the world title? I mean, look how things can possibly turn around now. I believe AJ will
beat Ruiz Jr.?
Yeah, I believe him. I think realistically, if it was going to happen to AJ, it's the best time now. The reasons being is because if he'd have lost to Fury or Wilder, then you think the bubbles burst. These men can beat him. And but he lost to Rivas, you know, in a fight that you think, wow, it was something not right, but that's just our opinion. But I think now it made AJ hungry again. And when he gets in with your Deontay Wilders and your Tyson Furies, he has to get in hungry. So now, because he's lost to Rivas, now Mama's training now for the Rivas fight. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah,
he's working on technique, he's working on footwork. You see what he's doing. I know exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
So now, and the responsibility of being a world champion is this: when you're a world champion, you have to take on all comers. If you've got a week's notice, if you've got 5 weeks notice, if you've got 13 weeks notice. When you're a challenger, you are watching that champion from the day he wins the title. So it could be 1 year, it could be 2 years, and you know him inside out. He's your target. He's what you're hunting. He's what you're after. So you more or less know him inside out. You're prepared for him for months, for years. But the responsibility of a champion is you've got to prepare for somebody in the short space of time you've got and beat them. And this was a lesson that AJ's had to learn with Rivas. You know, he had to prep for somebody that again, you know, was a bit of a banana skin. Again,
Ruiz Jr.
Ruiz Jr. And again, somebody that has made Junior's made him hungry again, and that's what you want. Let's just see this version of Anthony Joshua that comes out. I think, as I said, if it's going to happen, it's good that it happened now. And I think you are now going to see a raw version of Anthony Joshua. You're going to see a rugged version. You're going to see the Anthony Joshua that the public don't see. His boys know, you know, his friends know, his family know. We're now going to see that Anthony Joshua. Trust me.
What do you think of all the haters? All of a sudden, Anthony Joshua loses one fight.
Excuse my French.
Everybody.
Excuse my French. It's pure bullshit.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua's been boxing 10 years.
Yeah.
Look up, and he's always said, I'm learning. I've not finished the article, but I'm learning. You look at Anthony Joshua, what he's done in 10 years. Look at him, money's amassed. Look how he's changed the face of boxing. Look how he's the one that they're talking about £100 million purse. Now Wilder, who's Wilder going to fight to make that kind of money? Who's Tyson Fury going to fight to make that kind of money? I'm not saying these guys aren't worth that money, because they are, but they need a guy like AJ to pull that kind of dough. And this is what he's done in 10 years. And people give him a hard time because he lost one fight. And the problem with one-day fighting is people think once you've got a loss, you're done. And that's why I slip through the ranks, because they look at my record and think, why, he's won, he's lost, he's drawn, he's not going to do anything. I end up retiring as undefeated world champion. because people underestimate you. People think you've not got the pedigree as an amateur. You've not got an unbeaten record as a professional. The loss means shit. It's not what you think, it's what the fighter thinks and how the fighter can deal with it. And I think what Anthony Joshua's done, Anthony Joshua is he stayed humble. He said, yeah, you know what, say what you got to say. Let you all have your conspiracy theories about why I lost, why I didn't lose. I'm getting ready to deal with that guy again. I believe the fight will be in New York. I don't care what anybody says, I think it'll be New York again. I believe Anthony Joshua will beat Ruiz. And do not be surprised if it's a bit of a wet squid. He's got to box Ruiz. Ruiz is the only person that beat him was Parker. Parker beat him on points, which was questionable, but he had to box him boring, he had to box him smart. That's right, because Ruiz hasn't got great feet, he's got good fast hands, but he's not got great feet.
Great technical ability with the combination.
And that's why my old trainer said, Johnny, you'd have beat that guy in your day because I'd have boxed him. I'd have a stinker, man.
At range.
At range, you'd have boxed him.
Stiffen up the jab, step back, right hand.
Exactly. Boom, boom, jab, move left to right, give him angles, make him work, make him use his feet, make him trip over himself, left to right all the time. This is what AJ's learning now to do, prepping himself now to do for that specific opponent. And that's why
Lewis style.
That's why when they were looking for an opponent after Miller pulled out, they said Luis Ortiz. I said, no, it can't be Ortiz. You can't take this man as a stand-in. You're going to train for him, prepare for him. And these are now you get away with it once, you get away with it twice, and unfortunately the one thing you can't buy, borrow, pretend to have is experience. Anthony Joshua did not have the experience to deal with such an up and down, and so therefore, you know, he came with a fighter that had good grounding as an amateur and a pro. That's all. He made a mistake. So the haters out there, listen, that's human nature. It's human nature, it's sad, but Anthony Joshua's done the right thing, locked himself and said, yo, you know what, I lost. It hurts you, then it hurts me more than it hurts me.
You remember Rocky Balboa lost? There was Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He licked his lips and that's it, and that's why I think it's a great way to click and motivate him now, because I'm quite sure AJ's earned a hell of a lot of money. So you need something to motivate yourself, and this is when great fighters appear. You look at Ali, you look at your Mayweathers. These guys amassed fortunes, but still turn out unbelievable performances, beating everybody left, right, and centre. And you think to yourself, what is it that motivates you? Oscar De La Hoya, another one. What is it that motivates you to carry on? Because that fight is in him. I think Anthony Joshua was maybe just losing that edge, that hunger. Now this has made him hungry again. Marvin Hagler used to take himself down to a dirty little bed sit in Boston before a fight. No matter how much money he's amassed, before each fight, that's what he'd do. And he had nothing, kept it real. And that was it. That's what it was for Anthony Joshua.
He's still the cash cow in the heavyweight division to this day.
Yeah, to this day. I think Dave Allen's rocked up as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Cracker stuff, Johnny Nelson.
Sweet as.
Subscribe. Pep Talk UK.
Pep Talk.
My dog.